So a lot of the conclusions I came to were that I don't think that she actually knew about the murder at the time. I don't think that she knew that Madeline was dead. We can talk more about the specifics about what I observed and why I think that, but that was the conclusion I came to.
By her own admission, she says during this interview, the detectives came and interviewed us here at the home. Ed, you remember that, right?
That's right.
So that is what you saw there was an official police report. So this is not something that's just a YouTube or a Facebook rumor. This is what Jennifer Soto told investigators. So essentially she lied to them, and that is damning.
There's just so much awfulness around this situation. So I know we probably all feel very intense about it, but
we're not 100% right all the time. We're human just like you guys. But our experience in investigating crimes and criminals, that my hair on my arms, I think, yeah, that's what I was telling you guys. The hair on my arms stood up, the red flags went off, the alarms went off, and I took some for it because people were like, well, you're going out. Here we are just a week later, and you got the news getting a hold of these reports. She's got some splaining to do, as Ed Wallace would say, right? And many of the folks, the predominantly women, watch us. Most of the women said, why isn't this scumbag sitting next to her and trying to console her? When you're a cohesive team and you're a husband and wife, or you're, common law living together for 7 years, you would think, and common sense would say, like, he would have his arm around her, consoling her. And what we see later on is her standing next to him with his hand on her butt, and he's rubbing her. Like he's being consoled by her. She's kissing him on the head. Any thoughts on that, Doc?
Yeah, if somebody's highly manipulative and they know how to manipulate other people, that may be how they do it. Fake emotions. Like I said, maybe she's not very good at reading people. That may just be something. His fakery is pretty shallow. So if he's manipulating her with that, then yeah, maybe she's known as the one that's less emotional than him. Maybe that's how he gets her to do things. I don't know, but I've known a lot of guys that use their own emotions to manipulate people. So if that's sort of what he's known as, that's probably how he gets out of times he gets in trouble. That's probably how he gets away with things.
What she's saying is part of the conjured up story.
When you make anything out of the fact that she's being asked about a question about the police searching for her daughter, but yet she and her boyfriend are in the house not searching?
The way that she talks about it, she is sort of a low energy person. It sounds like, as this goes on, she basically says, yeah, we've looked at all the major places, and yeah, we can't find her. I mean, it's
game over.
I mean, I can't fathom personally. I mean, we all handle these crises differently. I can't fathom being at home during those moments, but maybe if she came home to talk to news or whatever, I don't know, but I understand what you mean.
You never really delete anything. It's there. It's in bits and pieces. We can put it back together forensically.
And she could just be telling a story.
There has been cases where a parent started speaking words heard during a homicide.
Like, I'm going to kill you, whatever. Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, but what we're seeing as far as her body language in that moment goes, I mean, it's so, as I said, it's so awkward, and it was interesting that she closed her eyes until it was done, because it was almost like it would be too intense to look at the person because it's a little bit embarrassing maybe. And so maybe that speaks to some of her social skills, that when she feels intense, like she shuts down a little bit. I mean, it's just, and it looks like a genuine smile too. That's what gets me, is like, that looks like a genuine look of amusement. Like the way that her eyes are positioned in her mouth, it looks like genuine amusement.
We're trying to piece together what happened the last few hours of the little girl's life, starting with our interview of the couple. Her mom told us last week,
we dropped her off at school, close to school. She wanted to walk the rest of the way.
But in that same interview, then said,
I wasn't the one who took her to school in the morning. That was my partner.
Detectives believe Maddie was likely dead early Monday morning because the video timeline shows Maddie's belongings being dumped in a dumpster at 7:35 by Stearns. At 8:19, Sheriff Mina said video shows Maddie in Stearns' vehicle believed to be deceased.
Now, we have the advantage of knowing that he's in custody for, capital sexual battery. He actually had, went the extra step to be extra vile and record his crimes on his phone. He told the investigators, I accidentally, on the day that she went missing on Monday, I factory reset my phone. And
So this initial report also shows that Stearns told investigators that after Maddie got out of his car, she stopped to look in that book bag before he drove away. That same book bag was found actually in the dumpster. After her death, he then said he went home for about an hour after going to the vape store and running errands. He was home that day until 2:30. Detectives say a tip showed him changing a flat tire not far from where the little girl's body was found.
Most of us are parents who are watching this and are following this this horrible case, and our emotions are running high, and we want whoever's responsible, whoever is has anything, any kind of hand to do. If you had prior knowledge, if you didn't, if you helped to cover things up, we want that to come to light. And that's where the emotions run high, because we're talking about an 11-year-old girl. When this all started in March of 2022 is when those pictures were taken off of this step monster's phone. A decent amount of time, and it would put her at 11 years old. I'm telling you right now, like, people are quick to point fingers and want to put blame on this mom. We need the evidence and the science.
Well,
you
that's
can't
just
read somebody on emotions.
Yes, but that's just what's recorded on the phone. We don't know what happened prior to that date. I mean, because this could have been going on far more than we know before her 11th birthday.
There's just so much awfulness around this situation. So I know we probably all feel very intense about it, but I really did see somebody maybe who was manipulated. Maybe she was a little bit naive. There could be a variety of reasons why. Stephan Stearns, he seems incredibly manipulative. When I watched his video, crying without tears, I mean, it wasn't even a very compelling performance for anybody. So when any of us watch that, we go, well, this guy's obviously lying. I don't think he's fooling many people, but he might have been fooling Jennifer Soto. And that says something about her ability to read people.
They believe that she was dead already and they hadn't found the body yet.
Right.
So the only thing the mother knows is what her boyfriend told her.
Right.
And I could also say emotions are running high here. Most of us are parents who are watching this and are following this this horrible case, and our emotions are running high, and we want whoever's responsible, whoever is has anything, any kind of hand to do. If you had prior knowledge, if you didn't, if you helped to cover things up, we want that to come to light.
There could have been a lot of manipulation going on. Some of the conflicting statements maybe are related to that. Maybe she got her information, her data from him. But from what I've gathered, he was not a very convincing liar. And there were a lot of places where the body language showed what I believe to be deception and manipulation on the part of Stephan Stearns. On the part of Jennifer Soto, I saw a lot of odd, sort of unusual behavior, but I didn't see a lot that made me think, yeah, she knows what's going on and she's in on it.
Yeah.
Well, also remember that at the time of these interviews, it was the day after she was reported missing and the second day after she was reported. So at that point in time, the police had not made an announcement that they believed that she was dead already. And they hadn't found the body yet.
Right.
So the only thing the mother knows is what her boyfriend told her.
Right.
And I could also say emotions are running high here. Most of us are parents who are watching this and are following this this horrible case, and our emotions are running high, and we want whoever's responsible, whoever is anything, any kind of hand to do. If you had prior knowledge, if you didn't, if you helped to cover things up, we want that to come to light.